Last week we started talking about trade your best setups, and we got into the details of trading ideas. What should you trade? How your execution should respond upon this, and if you take those two together, how does it influence your mindset? We're gonna go over example in a few minutes, but this is a quick peek for a trade I did yesterday. HQY, exactly the setup that we're gonna talk about it, and amazing 5 points, and definitely you can expect for a trade like this. I'm gonna put you a link here for the first part, so if you haven't seen that, here is, and I'm gonna write it also under. And so after we discussed about this, we start talking about something that I like to call my A+ setups. And the purpose of this, you need to trade your best. Now, in order to trade your best, you need to feel comfortable, and you need the trades to come to you. Now, when you have a solid and you build a very good setups, a playbook for that, it will help you to get to the next level with the trades. So the thing that I like on my setups for this one, and we're gonna go through examples, is usually I need to see a gap down, and when I'm seeing gap down, it's at least like 4% down, and usually you're gonna see it when we have earning or some catalyst. Now it doesn't mean that immediately when I'm seeing this, I'm jumping. No way. I want to analyze the volume that's coming immediately. Sometimes you're gonna see a drop, but immediately you're gonna see the volume coming. Now, why do I look for those things? And again, it's happened a lot, but it's not 100%, of course. And sometimes it's not going, but the potential when it's going versus it's not, and then I have a stop and that's it, is amazing. Now, part of what caused me to get into those trades, also I can see the elevated R vol, so you can see it immediately on the pre-market, and definitely I'm watching the volume bars as it's open because I want to see what? I want to see the institutional. Now, part of looking for stock that actually suitable for me for this setup is I want to see high institutional. When I see high, it's 70 and above, sometimes even 80%. Now, when I see that a lot of institutional there, and the next thing is I want to see that those stocks has low float of shorts. Now, some of the stocks are always familiar, but even if I see something that's actually good for me, I can actually go immediately, you're going to see, to a site, and I can see the relationship between the institutional. A lot of times when it captures those institutional, these gap down, whatever, for them it's a good excuse to buy the stock cheaper, because now it's much cheaper. And since most of the stocks, most of the institutions are long, I don't like to say I predict, this is what they're going to do. Another thing that actually helps for this process is average retail traders see a gap down, immediately what do they think? I'm going to short it. Now, if you see the big power of the institutional buying this, so take those high percent of institutional buying the stocks because it's cheap, then a short squeeze because there's a lot of retailers that see a stock gapping down, hey, we're going to short it, and then we actually kick them out. Then you're going to see those example, what is the potential of this A+ setups. Now, usually support of the market, it helps because a lot of stocks are going with the market, but I can't say that if it's going the other way, it's I'm not going to do it. It influence, but still you're going to see I can actually take a certain move and get a great trade also. Another thing, and we talked about this previously, look at the session that we did. Sometimes you need a second chance. It doesn't mean that because Amir knows this strategy, it need to follow and it need to go every time exactly. Sometimes you're going to see it's not happening immediately. Again, you have the rules, you can reduce, whatever, but it doesn't mean that it fails. I'm not going to watch it. No. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see how it kick me, if it get into a new low, or maybe it's start to put in a higher low, and then definitely a second chance. Now what I like about this is the great risk reward. Because of the big gap, is giving us a great trading plan for the trades to be a trade with edge. I like to trade with edge. I'm not taking trades just to get few cents. No way. I prefer to not click the button. So again, before getting into the examples, high institution plus low float of short plus short squeeze can give you best setups. Cisco, again, there was I think earning. So what I do on the pre, I'm actually learning. So I know what's the institution, I know the percentage, but it's not just this. I'm learning the level, support resistance for the pre-market, because a lot of times it will serve me as a guidance for the future trade that can happen sometimes immediately. And I like to use the FinViz. So if you can see, even if it is a stock that I'm not familiar, I can go to see the institution percentage. I can go to see the flow charts. I like to know the ATR. Why? It's influenced my partials. I want to see how much the ATR. Again, I want to see, but sometimes it's not necessarily. Why? Because if I see, for example, here was RVol less than 2, but there was a good volume. The more the RVol is better, is higher, definitely I'm not going to expect that ATR will stay the same. So again, that was Cisco on the pre, and after the open, and then see what happened. I had the first attempt here, and I forgot to mention one thing. Part of getting into the trade, I want to see a good setup on the VWAP. Now a good setup for me is not just 1 or 2 candles, sometimes I need even more. So it's stable, and I actually can use the VWAP as a good stop. And then I can see the difference between stock is under the VWAP, the volume is coming, bring it above, side move, and then boom. So again, here, the first attempt, it did. But then immediately you can see that nothing happened. Not volume increase, and it was side move after. So for me, it's a good sign. Not a good sign, it's a bad sign, but definitely I see something like this and I expect a certain move. I'm reducing and minimize my losses. But then again, you see what happened. It went down, but immediately it captured, but it didn't stable on the VWAP, so I waited. And then it did another move, and then yeah, you could see the volume, you can see how the trade is growing, and actually finish at the high of the day. Sometimes if I see a good risk reward, I can even leave the last portion overnight. It's just a risk management. Even if it's not going to be great the next day, under the low, the 5 minutes I can get out, but still it's going to be a profitable trade because 3/4 was pretty good. So That was Cisco. And again, the more the trade is getting, this is skills that you do for every trade. You're changing the time frame in order to see the big picture, in order to actually raise your stop and actually let the chart tell you what to do, not just, wow, I'm 125, 126, I'm out. No way, no way. The opportunities, amazing here. FTCH, again, some catalyst, you can see aftermarket move, and I'm actually seeing the support, the resistance. I'm going again to the FinViz. Here you can see really high percentage of institutional, low slow again, good ATR, and what's amazing here is the R volume. That was amazing. Amazing, again, amazing. It means that a lot of interest there. A lot of interest from, most of the time, those high percentage of institutional. We talked about the volume. So this is what, if I'm watching it on the first 1 or 5 minutes, you can immediately see the volume increase. You can see the first and the second bar, but again, you still need the formation, but you are collecting some information. So formation and information. And again, nothing to do in the first minutes, and then it come back VWAP, stable, and it's like sometimes I'm saying to my students, like almost the best, the best picture in a museum. Like when you see beautiful setup like this, you know what's the opportunity, and then it break the trigger, and you can see down the volume increase, and just sentence that I like to do: let it grow. Boom. The potential, amazing. I'm still amazed by the potential of those. It's beyond yo. And again, gap down, you see how much the potential here until the gap closes, and a lot, sometimes the gap is being closed, sometimes not, but who cares? It's a good setups. And this is, for example, trade, did, and then fade away, and sometimes, as I was saying, it doesn't mean that it's going to finish at the high of the day, blah blah blah. Can be an attempt. Sometimes attempts are failing, and sometimes actually when you see the pressure of the volume is getting down, and you can see the volume, the big red bars, you can switch sides. Difficult. Sometimes this is difficult to read it and to do it live, but yeah, the potential are, it's not that I'm trading this only on the up. Sometimes it can fade, and potential for something else to do. Another stock that was, I think also it was planned, again, gap down, nothing in the beginning. Again, I want to see a nice formation. I want to see even around 11:30 or something, you see it broke the view up, but there was no formation. There was no formation that you can see. They're resting, they're building something. It came even later. So this was a late for this. It almost was like the second part of the day. And again, go to the FinViz, you can see huge percent institutional, low float of short, amazing R-vol, and it was going as planned, really. In the nice bars, you can see how the trades develop and give you a grade. Again, as a technical, you have to see where is this resistance, if let's say the high of the day, so you have to pay attention for those, take partial along the way. It's not that I'm waiting with all the amount for the entire trade, no way. During, I'm actually taking some profits. It's okay to be frustrated, it's okay to take a few minutes to rant, but now what are you gonna do? Get better. Will you turn that frustration into fuel to do the work? That will make you a better trader. How you answer will be seen in your future P&L. Mike Belafiori, like that quote. Usually it's my promo to my one-on-one mentoring that I'm doing with student live trading, building a risk management plan between session. We analyze in order to cause you to be a better trader. So our main focus going forward, guys, find your niche between all the types of trade, because this will be your uniqueness. If not, you're not going to be here. Make stats. Since you are not objective about your trading, stats are. So through this you can see exactly where is your best. Create a playbook of strategy that you're good at, because then it will be easy for you to trade when you see that setup and you're not gonna improvise. And when you have those, stress gone. Really. It's not that I'm zero stress, but since I'm focused and I feel comfortable, I'm let all my energy to be concentrate in that trade. So I want that trade. Let it go. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss. You will land among the stars. Norman Vincent Peale. If it doesn't challenge you guys, it won't change you. And we need to crash our limited beliefs in order to fight the devil inside. To get a nice awareness, you need to come balance every day. For me, the balance is this: beach every day, going to the beach, throw all the bad thoughts, get all the inspiration, make a self-talk, and solve lots of my issue. So for me it was the right way to do, and part of doing this, doing exercise, running, in order to get a better, understanding of myself, and it's helped me to come focus every day and do the best I can.